Here we go. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Real People, Real Stories, where we are interviewing people just like you and myself and finding out how redox has affected their life and how they have succeeded with it. So my name is Dr. Barbie Phillips, and I am a chiropractor for people and animals. I'm coming to you from Fargo, Oklahoma, Creation Chiropractic. And if you're new to REDOX Molecules, let me take just a minute to share with you what they are. REDOX Molecules actually help repair damaged cells. And if they can't repair them, then they detect those ones and try to get rid of the bad cells that our body doesn't need or is not useful for us. So we'll be explaining a little bit more about that along our journey. I will put in a disclaimer here that anything we speak about in information is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical condition. And the information you're going to hear from our guest tonight is personal testimony and how she's used these molecules to not only change her life, but also that of her horse, Sandy. And she has another redox fur baby that she has on our call tonight as well. So I'm going to introduce our guest, Kim Burnett, and she is from Cotton Center, Texas, and she's going to share some great information with us. And to do our interview, I will now introduce Kathleen, which is our co-host, and I'm going to turn it over to her to share a little bit about herself and then also interview our guest tonight. Kathleen?
Thank you, Dr. Barbie. It's just wonderful to be here, that we all can be connected. We've got Oklahoma, Texas, and I'm in Starkville, Mississippi. So it's just great to be here. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to meet Kim, to have the chance to talk with her. And I mean, look, she already has a fur baby in her lap, so I already know I love her. So Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then maybe a little bit about what got your attention, piqued your interest about ASEA.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on tonight. What an honor, and really appreciate it. What got my attention was a serious health challenge. And I was invited to a redox workshop and very skeptical. In fact, when I left out to attend the workshop, I told my husband, I said, don't worry, I'm not going to order anything and I'm not going to join. But anyway, so I went to the meeting. My cousin picked me up, and so we attended. And this is what caught my attention, that it's a cell signaling supplement, won't hurt and will only help. And so when I heard all the different testimonies of how it was helping everyone in different ways, it wasn't the same thing, then I thought, okay, I need this, my family needs this, the world needs to know about this. And so I jumped on board, and I had dealt with a serious health challenge, and it had to do with bad cells. And so this was just an answer to prayer for me.
That's wonderful to hear, and very interesting to see kind of what really got you interested in it. And it was the cell signaling, the science part of it. So what is your professional background, Kim, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. I'm a retired teacher of 30 years of technology. And so, in fact, I taught for 15 years in the classroom with technology, high school and junior high. And then I was a technology coordinator for the rest of those years, for 17, 18 years. And so I had retired and was looking for something. God closed doors left and right. And then when I learned about redox signaling molecules and realized there was a business side of it, then I got really excited about it. And then, it's been just an honor to help people who are searching and praying for a solution to their health, or they just want to prevent. Let's say people are healthy, but they just want to prevent, then this is a perfect solution.
So you've mentioned a little bit about your health challenge, and I'm very glad that you are, sharing a little bit about that. Briefly, just kind of describe your life before redox, maybe some of the symptoms of what you were feeling without, getting too into it. But then what is it like afterwards? I mean, what is the difference in your body, in your day-to-day life, once ASEA redox was introduced?
Well, it was a scary time for me. And when you receive that diagnosis, it's just, you don't know. You just don't know what could happen. And so I immediately knew what I was going to do. I knew that, number one, that I was going to have it removed. Number two, I knew that I wasn't going to go down that toxic route. The reason I knew that is because I watched my family member suffer, not really from the disease, but from the treatment. And so I was very determined. And so I took ownership even before ASEA. I took ownership of my body, and I told the doctors what I was going to do. It wasn't easy. It trust me, it was not an easy road. And it was discouraging. It was very, a lot of discomfort. And so I wish that someone would have shared this with me at the time, because I would have jumped on it, but I didn't know about it. And so it was some sad and scary times for me, but really appreciate my family jumping in and caring for me during that time of my life. And so when I was told about redox signaling molecules, I immediately knew this was a solution. I immediately knew that it was an answered prayer, because I had told my specialty doctor no, and he didn't handle it very well. In fact, he said, Kim, it could come back. It could come back, with a vengeance, to your brain. It could come back to your lungs. We don't know, but I said, thank you for caring for me, Dr. Pruitt. I really appreciate it, but I want to heal from my surgeries, and I'm going to be searching and praying. And God delivered, and he delivered big. And so anyway, going forward, what life has been like now, going to the appointments, I go now yearly, and I've been getting some amazing reports. In fact, last year, my doctor called me a unicorn. And I said, well, what do you mean I'm a unicorn? And she said, I've never seen labs like this before. Never seen labs like this before. But, it doesn't stop there. What it's done for my body on other issues that I was struggling with, my body has repaired from that. And so I'm aging backwards. I'm aging healthier and younger, and that's exciting. And anyway, I'm going to be 60 this year, and I don't feel and I don't look 60.
No, you do not look 60.
And I could go on and on, but I'll stop.
Well, I am very, very interested in, what you've also been using it for. You've got your fur baby, you've got a horse picture behind you. Obviously, in my mind, you're an animal lover and a horse lover. So tell me a little bit about that. And have you been using the ASEA redox with your animals?
Well, yes, I have. And the reason I did is I got in a pickle with one of my show horses. He was vaccinated, had a toxic reaction to one of the vaccinations. And so anyway, the vet told me, she said, we've done everything that we possibly could do, and we don't have any other tools available to save him. And so I said, well, could I take him to Weatherford? Would I make it? And she recommended A&M as well. And I said, would he live the trailer ride to those places? And she said, no. And I said, well, I don't have any options, but I do have this one thing. I have REDOX Molecules, and I have visited with the vet. It was Dr. Marty Morin who coached me with what to do. And she said, well, let's give it a shot. And so I did. And he said, if he won't drink the molecules, just go to the other end. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And so that's what I did. In fact, I probably gave him probably a bottle probably every 30 minutes because he was dying. I had nothing to lose. It's non-toxic. And I guess within 24 hours, the mucous membranes improved, his fever came down, and white blood cell count improved in 24 hours. And then continuing on in 48 hours, then he started detoxing. He detoxed from his gut. And then he, I guess on the third day, he detoxed from his bladder. So something very interesting about all of it is that he continued to drink water. He drank. So that was huge as well. So to keep him hydrated. But of course, we had him on IVs as well. So it was a miracle. I got to watch a miracle happen, and it was so exciting.
Yes, that does sound exciting because, if you're anything, we're horse people. I'm not as big of a horse person as you and Dr. Barbie, but we love our horses and love them. And when they do get ill, there's nothing worse than not being able to help them. And then you were able to help them. What kind of show horse is it?
Well, he's pretty famous. He's a top sale whiz for the sire side, and he's won probably $45,000 is what Sandy has won, and he was a reiner. And so I retired him from reining, and we did ranch riding, and we won Reserve World with ranch riding. And so today he's 20 years old, and he's still taking the molecules. And also too, I use the Renew 28. That Renew 28, I'm telling you what, guys, I learned by going to corporate last month that the Renew 28 is 4 to 5 times stronger than the redox molecules, the water. So anyway, I use it, the Renew 28 on his hooves, on his ankles, and was, dealing with a condition, and it's irreversible. And anyway, I guess a year ago, took him back to the vet. That condition is gone. So anyway, so, Dr. Marty Morin said, if there is a cell there that can still signal, then the body can correct and heal itself. So
Sandy, your horse, really got a lot of good help in the form of the redox signaling molecules from his main illness, and then the other things that came up with the hoofs and the other things and the ankles. Wow, that is amazing.
And it's important. I brought him home because the trainer where I kept him, they were not consistent. And so, guys, this is very important, that you have to be consistent with yourself, with using the molecules, as well as with the animals. So, and so now that we're being consistent with it, I am seeing some huge improvements with him. Huge. So
hopefully you'll have a lot of more years with Sandy, and Sandy will have a lot more years with you then.
Yes, ma'am. He's pretty special.
Sounds like a very loved horse.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, have you used the molecules in any of your other animals?
Yes, I use it for my little schnauzer here. He gets it every morning. He gets an ounce every morning. And so then I like to use the Renew 28 on his paws as well. And anyway, he gets it. So
What's your Schnauzer's name?
Oliver.
Oliver. Well, he is just adorable. My goodness, just sleeping away.
So anyway, he had his hair done today, so he's tired. But it's just, I mean, we have such a gift in our hands. And, not only do I take advantage of the gift, but I like to let other people, know about it and educate them about it. So anyway.
So we've talked a little bit about the molecules and how they've changed your life and those around you, whether they're animals, because we love them just like family. They are family. And that is really great to hear. But the other thing that you did talk about that I'd like to share with you, or have you share with us for a few minutes, is the business side of this. You said that it kind of excited you from the business point of view. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It's the business side is such a blessing. And, it's challenging too, because, uh, it's looking for people that are like-minded. And when you find those like-minded people, it's so exciting. But just remember, guys, it's, the number of people that you're meeting, making new friends with, developing relationships with, those things are important. The number of people that you're doing that with on a day-to-day basis and being consistent with it, and sharing, for example, just going into establishment and visiting with them and getting to know them, and it always goes to health. And so it's always an opportunity, to share. And then of course, the follow-up is important. We've got to follow up and collect a decision. And that's so important as to when can you visit again? When can you watch a 7-minute video? And are you available, on Monday afternoon to visit, and get that decision and get that down pat. But it's just, it's a numbers game. And the more people that we're visiting with, meeting and talking to, then, your business is going to grow organically. But, as Leland Duck always says, treat it like a business. If you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. So that's something that he always says on the morning call.
Kim, how when you first retired, is your retirement anything like what you thought it would be like?
No.
And how is it different?
Well, I'm busy. I'm very, very, very busy. I babysit grandbabies on Mondays and Tuesdays, and my husband farms, and so busy, busy there. And then I have show horses, and I'm busy there with that. And anyway, my dad is aging, and so I help take care of him some as well. And so I'm in a lot of different directions, but it's, even though I'm going in different directions, I'm always meeting new people, or I can, God places someone on my heart, because that's what I always, wake up praying, Lord, just give me the opportunity to share Jesus in ASEA. And he always does. Yeah. So, Lord, give me an opportunity to share Jesus in ASEA. And so he does, and he's faithful. And so anyway, and that's how I do it. And so that's, and I loved the molecules, because it helps give me that energy and to be able to do all the things I want to do, because I don't want to get old. I don't want to get old. And so it's just truly a blessing to stay busy. And while I'm busy, I still can, do my business.
I think what you said about, having the redox signaling molecules has really helped you have a great retirement so you can take care of the grandbabies. I think that's what, certainly what I want as I'm getting older is, I want to be able to do these things. I don't want to get old and not be able to continue to enjoy things
Right.
in our retirement.
Exactly. I want to be in the floor playing with them. And I definitely am. I'm in the floor. We're building tracks. We're farming. We're outside. We're in the dirt playing. And, I have a 11-month-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So tell me. Yeah, we're moving.
Yeah. Well, Kim, we thank you so much for taking out your time. I know, gosh, you were so busy, and for you to carve out some time to share with us has been a tremendous time, and I hope others have learned from listening to you, because I certainly have, and I just want to thank you so much. Dr. Barbie, I'm going to just kick this back over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. And Kim, that's just such great testimony on yourself and your horse, and so excited that you're using that with your fur babies. Anything we can do to keep them healthy is wonderful. And if you, any of the listeners out there have questions, we would be happy to, if you have a question for Kim or one of us, we would like to open that up. You can just unmute your microphone and ask that question if you have a question. Okay. If not, we definitely want to thank Kim for being our guest tonight. It's been so wonderful. And if you do have a question, you can reach myself or Kathleen or even Kim on Facebook. And you can also call our office at Creation Chiropractic if you want to learn more. The number's 580-698-2852. And we want to encourage you that when you're ready to start your redox journey, to be sure and connect with an independent associate and not buy product online. There's many, many reasons why, but you never know what you're going to get. But through an independent associate and you're ordering through the ASEA company, you do get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So there really is no risk to get to try this and to see how it can change your life. But you also, with an independent associate, get the coaching, and they can help you with dosages. They can help you on how to use the product so that you can win with ASEA and not just guess on how to use it and then ultimately fail, because that can happen. So we encourage you to go through an independent associate. Be sure to join us again in 2 weeks. We will be having another guest on Tuesday, May 16th. And at this point, I will mention also that this will be recorded. It will be on the Creation Chiropractic Facebook page, and it will also be on my personal YouTube channel. So please grab it, share it with your friends and family that couldn't attend tonight, or rewatch and learn from Kim. So Kim, thank you again. We're just so pleased that you were able to join us and so thankful. And until next time, when we have our next guest, where we will hear more real people's real stories and how redox has affected their life. And until then, good night and God bless.